Okay, we know a lot of our subscribers don't really like it when we curse, but I'm so sorry. Can we get a pass today? Because holy what a comeback, and what an incredible EP this is. What the did these guys drink to be able to come up with a masterpiece of an EP and deliver every time? Like SB19. Holy you guys are legends. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of our system, guys, we've got a little confession to make. When we first heard the teasers for the tracks, we honestly thought, this doesn't sound like SB19. Based on the snippets alone, we felt like the first two EPs were more SB19 than Saw. But man, were we wrong, and that's the beauty of this group, right? Just when you think you know what to expect, they deliver something totally unexpected, in the most epic way possible. Every single track on this EP hits, and today we want to share our first impressions for each one. Of course, we'll also be dropping separate videos where we'll dive deeper, lyric interpretations, themes, all that good stuff, because honestly, each song on this EP deserves its own spotlight. As of this recording, we already have 3 music videos out: Damn, Time, and Dungka. And wow, a big what the to SB19 for making us cry with Time, and then dropping Dungka right after like everything's fine. We're low-key losing our minds with this emotional roller coaster, but wow, you guys, this was absolutely worth the wait. First up, we have Time, our first impression. This is a beautiful showcase of that signature Filipino ballad, you know what I mean? Powerful belting, soaring high notes, deep emotion, and heartfelt storytelling. We've always loved SB19's take on the Tagalog ballad, and Time is no exception. But what's extra special is how this track will also speak volumes to foreign fans and international music lovers. If someone were to ask us, what's a good Filipino ballad to understand how amazing modern OPM is? Time would be our top pick. Hands down. It's the perfect blend of the classic Filipino ballad and the modern sound of today's OPM artists. And on top of that, you get SB19's signature flavor, that unique touch that's hard to put into words but instantly recognizable when you hear it. Maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not. But knowing SB19, we're pretty sure everything they do is deliberate and deeply thought out. And yeah, Time gives off this beautiful beginning and end kind of feel. You know what I mean? Like it merges the essence of their early ballad influences with the evolution of their sound today. And that new sound, that is the SB19 sound, because we believe no one in OPM sounds like SB19. Actually, even outside the Philippines, we can't think of any artist that quite matches their style. SB19 is SB19, unmistakable, in a league of their own. Because when SB19 sings, you don't just hear the song, you feel it. You feel their soul, the essence of the message, and somehow they always make you connect with the lyrics in such a personal way. Next, first impression of 8 Ton Ball. It sounds super modern and has that slight K-pop flair, probably because of the multi-platinum producer they collaborated with. Yes, you heard that right. Multi-platinum, ladies and gentlemen. And while it does carry that familiar K-pop vibe, you can't deny that SB19 has this incredible way of making a song sound like nothing else. As with, every SB19 release, 8 Ton Ball hits you with that, this feels familiar, but also totally new energy. They always keep us guessing. They make you think, they make you research. Like, who else does that? When we first heard the teaser, we actually thought this would end up being our least favorite track, only because most of us don't usually listen to a lot of hip-hop. But bro, we were so wrong. 8 Ton Ball is yet another fire track. It's the kind of track that makes you want to bounce, nod your head, and just vibe with it. We were also curious how Justin and Stell would blend into a hip-hop heavy track. But at this point, we really should know better than to doubt SB19. Justin's part, smooth as butter. And Stell's high note, that added spice that takes the song to another level. This one definitely turned out to be one of the big surprises of the album for us. Next up is Quit. Now this one really caught us off guard, in the best way. It has that, like, early 2000s? Alternative rock feel. And for those who know the band Dashboard Confessional, Stell's high pitch actually gives off that same emotional, almost cathartic vibe. There's something raw and nostalgic about it, like a throwback to the kind of music you'd listen to when you're sorting through heavy emotions. It also feels like an extension of Kanako, especially with that grungy, introspective energy. And if you're familiar with Philippe's solo work, you'll definitely feel his influence in the tone and grit of this track. That makes Quit feel both surprising and authentic, because this is really the first time we've heard SB19 do a full-on rock song, and wow, they nailed it. This is like this EP's I Want You, like that one track that is most surprising. Lyrically and emotionally, this is a track you should play when you're going through something tough. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't wallow in sadness. It lifts you up. It gives you just enough fuel to take the next step. The title might say, Quit, right? But the message, it's actually the opposite. It's about quitting the idea of quitting. Does that make sense? Like, it's telling you, don't give up. There's more to your story. Shooting for the Stars. So we'll admit, when we first heard the teaser, we were a bit apprehensive. It sounded a little too, what's the word? I guess bubblegum? I mean, at first, and we thought, is this really SB19? But of course, we're absolutely wrong. Once the full track dropped, it completely shattered our expectations. It's actually nothing like what we imagined. It has this blend of Freedom's uplifting vibe and the groove of Where You At. But once again, it's that classic SB19 magic, familiar, yet still completely their own. There's a very modern, international sound to it. It feels like the kind of song that could go viral globally, and not just within the fandom. You know what I mean? Like, if someone heard this without knowing the artist, they'd be intrigued enough to look SB19 up. It's vibrant, it's catchy, and sounds incredibly current, like something you'd hear on global charts or as a soundtrack. And let's just make it clear, this is definitely not bubblegum pop. It's fresh, layered, and surprisingly refined. It plays with lightness and optimism without losing depth, which is a hard balance to pull off, but SB19 did it effortlessly. This track could be the one, like that one track that pulls in a lot of new listeners. It's one of those songs you instantly enjoy and then go, wait, this is SB19? And that curiosity? We wouldn't be surprised if Shooting for the Stars becomes the dark horse hit of the album. And finally, we have Dungka, my personal top favorite from this EP. Of course, Damn holds its own space. It's untouchable. That track, Damn really set the tone and expectations for this whole EP. But Dungka? Man, this one is a straight up banger. It was so unexpected. The lyrics, the sound, the MV. There's honestly so much to unpack here, but since this is just our first impressions video, we'll try to rein it in, which is going to be really difficult, not gonna lie. Okay, so our first reaction, it gave off novelty song vibes at first, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean? It felt like something straight out of an old school Filipino movie. like one of those final act big production numbers thingy that hit right after the main character triumphs over everything. It's theatrical, it's intense, and it's proud. Dungka feels like the tougher, older sibling, or even the dad, of Bazinga, Calical, and Damn. It's aggressive, fearless, and loud in the best possible way, like it just demands respect. You hear it and go, okay, I'll just shut up now and listen. Once again, SB19 takes hate and criticism and transforms it into something powerful. They make it art. You can even see hints of that in the music video, and trust us, we cannot wait to break that one down in a separate video because there's so much going on visually and symbolically. And while we genuinely love all the tracks on this EP, there's just something about Rad Kids' touch that stands out. Like, mad respect Pablo and Josue. It's bold, it's fresh, it's unapologetically unique. You feel that creative freedom in every beat, and Dungka is such a perfect showcase of that. It's SB19 flexing both their artistry and their ability to turn hate into power. What an epic way to close out the EP. And there you have it, guys, our first impressions of the full Saw EP. Yet another incredible moment, not just for SB19 and 18, but for the OPM industry as a whole. This EP really feels like a statement, and we're so proud to witness this era unfold. In our next few videos, we'll be diving deeper into each song, doing full lyric breakdowns and interpretations, plus talking more about the 2 music videos we've seen so far. So hopefully, we'll see you over there too. As always, thank you so much for checking out our content and for supporting the channel. We truly appreciate every like, comment, and share. It means the world to us. And before we wrap up though, we want to hear from you. Which song stood out to you the most on first listen? And after a few replays, did a different track start to grow on you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to geek out with you over this masterpiece of an EP. See you in the next one.